How's everyone doing? Welcome back for some more Forza Horizon 3. Today I'm sharing with you the 1999 Dodge Viper GTS ACR, and if you're someone that likes rear-wheel drive cars in Forza Horizon 3, I highly recommend driving this car if you have not already. This is a fantastic rear-wheel drive car, perfect car for the A-Class or even the S1 class, and the main reason for that is the grip on this thing is just absolutely awesome, and it's pretty crazy because look at this car. I mean, this thing has a V10, the front of the car is super long, yet somehow only 48% of the weight is in the front of the car. 52% of the weight somehow is pinning down those rear wheels, and this car just has excellent grip. But it might not be the nicest looking car. If you look at it in the Forza Vista, I'm sure some people love this thing, but at first I honestly didn't really like the looks of this thing, but I actually came to love it more when I drove it, which is really surprising because generally I start to like cars when I really look at them closely in the Forza Vista, but this one really got to me when I was driving it. And yes, the performance is good, but it also looks very nice, and the sounds are pretty good too. I am going to share them at the end during some free roam gameplay, but let's talk some more about the performance. And we already talked about the grip, so the launch is really good, and even though first gear goes up to about 65 miles per hour, first gear is awesome because you gain grip around 40 miles per hour, but the wheel spin isn't that awful. You don't feel like you're going really slow out of first gear, and the gearing on this car in general is super long, which I really like. I love longer gears, but man, I have to say, the grip on this thing is just crazy. Whether you're launching the car, making turns, I mean, you can stay in second gear and go very fast around some pretty sharp turns, and that really impressed me considering that this thing is rear-wheel drive, and on top of that, 500 torque coming from that V10 motor, and yet it still has very good grip, 460 horsepower, and honestly, this car is just fantastic because all of the handling characteristics are really good. Aside from the braking's not amazing on the car. It's probably below average, but the way the car turns and goes around corners is very exceptional as well. So the grip, combine that with the good turning ability, and this thing is very good overall. The only thing you kind of have to watch, like I mentioned, is the braking, but like I said, I love the gearing. It does shift kind of slow, and you do redline pretty quickly, but you can really push past that red line before you bounce off the rev limiter, so that's really good. And the acceleration feels good. It's not super fast, but it does feel fast, and the top speed is about 190, which is really good for the lower part of the middle of the A-Class. So overall, I absolutely love this thing, and it is just a ton of fun to drive. And at first I didn't really think I would like it, but I really do. And the main thing is, I'm trying to figure out if I want to keep this car in the A-Class or move it to the S1 class, because when you upgrade it, it's very interesting because if you put the street tires on, and keep in mind, this thing has the worst tires possible, and the grip is as good as you can see that it is. I mean, the grip is just crazy, especially when you think about that, but when you do put the street tires on, it moves it very close to the S1 class, like very top of the A-Class, so basically you can't do anything else other than that. But the grip is really good, so you don't really need to do that. But the problem is, if you want to keep the stock motor, which I definitely want to do, it's really tough to actually max it out in the A-Class. So I have tested the S1 and the A-Class, and trying to work out which I like better and which I think the car is more competitive in, so a little bit of work to do there yet, but this thing is a ton of fun. And if you've never driven this car in this game, I highly recommend that you get this thing and give it a try, especially if you like rear-wheel drive cars, because this thing is really grippy, and that makes it a ton of fun because it can actually compete with some of the all-wheel drive cars. So I really hope that everyone enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of this 1999 Dodge Viper, but as always, thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to y'all again very soon. Peace out.